Okay, story time this evening, and boy, do I have something for y'all tonight. Now, to everyone that follows me, and just for purposes of legality, I'm going to say my disclaimer. My disclaimer here is there's no ill intent by this video. It's only to educate. Now, in order for you to learn from this video, you're gonna need to have an open mind if you are not what is called Black or African American here in America. I'll just say that. We ain't talking about abroad. But yes, you need to know this before I set off into the rest of the video. Now, let's begin. As I always say, within the frequency of in the name of Yahweh, under the name and authority of Yahshua Messiah, direction of the Holy Spirit. The wavelength that I'm going to describe this particular video is about what I brought previously. I brought a video saying, is the U.S. Lower Egypt, where all the uninitiated pharaohs were going to school to eventually ascend in degrees to be able to be allowed up into Upper Egypt, other Egypt being Southern Egypt. Okay, so the offspring of the pharaohs, not the Egyptians, but of the pharaohs, lived in Northern Egypt. Okay, now the place where you know to be the pyramids, as we know over there in Libya, Egypt. All right, that where those great temples are before they were completely understood is known as the Greater Egypt. But where there's no history is to know where is Northern Egypt. Where's the place of what they call the younger pharaohs, the pharaohs that were going to school to learn and be educated in the sciences to be able to enter the houses of the pharaohs, all right, and to prepare to undergo initiation within the degrees of the temple. So let me get into this. I asked a question, and I should have did a poll on the video as to whether or not the U.S. was Northern Egypt. Well, as I sit there and twirled it in my mind, and the fact that we have the Grand Canyon over here, and some of which is military restricted and prohibited from public use, otherwise because people would actually be able to see the Egyptian artifacts, the other parts of history, and learn of the rabbit hole and Stargate. The Stargates, yes, within the United States in the Grand Canyon. Now, this has been a very, very shrouded secret that I'm talking about, and I'd like it to share it. So let's proceed. So let's just say that as we know this to be Northern America, that North America was built off of old Egyptian knowledge. All right, the Egyptian knowledge that it was built off of was the knowledge that pharaohs knew for how to control the masses. We find that in government today with the upper echelons of the powers that be, in how to control the people. You must control their minds. You must control their perceptions. Okay, Let's keep going. Now, with the stir about the Grand Canyon and the restricted areas that I have actually already been instructed about. I'll say that. Just keep it simple. I have been instructed about, and being that these things are undiscoverable truths, you can only go and delve into dig and to try to investigate. It's the same way in one of my other videos where I said that the Egyptians actually knew, all right, that in the future, all right, in order to basically lock souls from actually ascending beyond the satellite of the moon, that you had to be able to lock the energetic magnetic field that we know as to be the stratosphere, that keeps you from what? Going out into space. All right, let's proceed. Now, the reason why I gave the disclaimer at the beginning of this video is basically about what I'm finna introduce to you to. And I pray, honestly, that everyone who is considered as Black or African American do not take what I'm finna say and try to boast. Because at the end of the day, this was a mistake that the Northern Egypt made. One of the reasons why in North America, what has been labeled as chattel, as blacks, renaming a whole race of people that were already here when the Americas were being built. One of the reasons why slave plantations, slavery, Jim Crow, all right, and the racist system of power was consolidated was because the elites that were here, that were building the Americas, that were actually coming from England, knew, the redcoats knew that this being a newer colony, it was actually a power. It was actually a power colony, and it had to be dealt with in a very, very delicate fashion, because the secrets about it were revealed to those who were worthy and who knew how to keep the secrecy behind these particular locations, because this was the power base of America, the true power base, not the one that's been set up for us to look at. The reason why African Americans and blacks have been treated so bad, such as in the books that I announced, the Willie Lynch letters, and also Without Sanctuary. Now I'm looking to really read Black AF history. I'm looking to read that one. I haven't got a hold to it yet. But I have to say this before this video gets ready to come to a short. The reason why black people have always been treated as the lower case up under the whites within the United States is because primarily that you who are African American, you are the living image of the Atlanteans and the Egyptians. You are the only living artifacts left of that remnant or civilization, and the only way for you to stop from coming into what those civilizations were was to control your perception, your mind, and your biology to keep you asleep. That is nothing to be proud of. So if you, I hate to see that, if I don't want to see people jumping on there talking about, yeah, we're the Atlanteans, but you control nothing because of your ignorance. I love y'all, and I hope you liked the video.